Hi, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome you all to the session Thursday for Technology. Without taking much time, I'll be jumping into that session. Let me welcome you all again for the series on Thursday for Technology, week number 19. In fact, I missed taking the session last week due to my preoccupation. However, without changing the topic, I want to continue in this week. Inside ChatGPT, an in-depth feature tour. I'm sure for the last many months, I can consider approximately 10 months, 9 months. ChatGPT is one of the world's buzz topic. How since yesterday, Chandrayaan 3 became a buzzword for India and for the world. In the same way, ChatGPT is part of our day-to-day life. I request whoever watching live in the YouTube, please confirm whether my voice is clear and the screen is visible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pradeep sir, for your confirmation. Now let me close my browser, unnecessary browsers. Let's go into the today's topic. As you all know, as part of my Thursday for Technology, I keep all the working files or whatever the topics which I cover, the content in the folder, and the access to this folder I have already shared in the description of the YouTube live video, or if you are recording the recorded one after this video, you can find the same link. I request all of you use that link to download the material which I'm going to use for this session. Though I've written 3 to 5 topics here, but we will be trying to cover many things which you already may not know. Because for the last many months, if you see ChatGPT evolved so much. Earlier, it was just a web application. Now they made it mobile application. I'm 100% sure at least one or two members of you, whoever watching this video, watching this live, might have not downloaded your mobile app yet, because many of you may not know that the mobile application is available for the chat GPT. So we'll try to see what important about chat GPT, timeline of chat GPT. That means when they announced in 30th November 2022, what they announced over the last 9 months, what are the things and features they introduced. We'll try to understand the concept of deletion of data versus deletion of prompts. In fact, in today's session, I'll be touching more about the prompts. We may talk about the shared link concept, one of the most popular chat GPT concept. We'll also see how we can download our chat history before we delete. Along with that, there are many small topics I want to just give a round, because we are going to have a tour of all the features. I'll explain what exactly that feature does. Though I may not go deep dive, but I'll go in depth about the features. Okay, let's go into a couple of important things before we go further. I'm sure by this time you understood what is ChatGPT. However, let me explain in a very simple language. ChatGPT is a large language model developed by the company called OpenAI. specifically based on GPT. This is one of the very important word for next centuries you are going to hear. Generative pre-trained transformer architecture. It's designed to generate human-like text based on the input it receives. These models are a type of artificial intelligence that have been trained on massive amounts of text data to understand and generate coherent and contextually relevant responses. I think from one sentence here, you could understand what all the chat GPT about. I'm sure many questions may come to your mind. And couple of important things, it designed to generate human-like text based on the input it receives. Input is nothing but a prompt we call. Very important words I'm going to cover in today's session. This is nothing but the prompt. I request everyone, please concentrate. Prompt is the one question, the input. Since the school days, we all are habituated to get the answer because prompt used to be given by the faculties or the colleges or the institutions in the exam. We are there to give the answer. But I'm sure after introduction of ChatGPT, the world is more worried about how to ask the question. I'm 100% sure within no time, in maybe next 1 to 2 years, the new curriculum will come. Rather, new topics in the curriculum will come with a concept around the prompt because the world is in such a way today, whether you know the answer or not, there are tools which can help you that. But what is the question you need to ask? You must be very much aware. I'm 100% sure that you all are following the point here. Many people, if you ask a question whether chat GPT is helpful, you will find a mixed reaction. Some people say it is excellent. Some people say, though I asked many questions, it is not in a position to answer properly. Many people may say mixed reaction. Sometimes it gives good, sometimes it gives bad. But if you ask me whether chat GPT is helpful, I say absolutely it is helpful. If anyone is saying it's giving a wrong answers or wrong results, that means you have to fine tune your prompt. You have to fine tune your prompt. And I'm not saying ChatGPT knows everything in the world. In fact, we will go into that particular small topic. But here I'm only talking about the prompt because based on your question, the answer will come. If you ask a question, please explain me like how you explain for a 5 years old kid. It is going to use the words which are generally we use for 5 years old kid. If you ask a question, could you please explain me as if I am a scientist, it's going to choose the words or more of technical or jargons because scientists already know about those things. That means you must need to know what you are going to ask, right? That is one important thing today we are going to concentrate the prompt. In fact, though my session gonna be next 45 minutes to 50 minutes, I may not cover end to end of the prompt, but I'll tell you the resources where you can go into the OpenAI website, what you need to read about the prompt. There are n number of different prompts are there. There are, in fact, many courses free online, even in the YouTube or in the Udemy or in online sources, prompt engineering, meaning how you can ask the question, what are the things which are relevant and so on, right? Let us look into this definition much further. GPT models are type of artificial intelligence. So it is a type of artificial intelligence that have been trained on massive amounts of text data, understand and generate coherent and contextually relevant responses. This is very important word. This is not a brain given by the God. Let's say in my case, I had a body, I'm having a body, I have a brain. From the experiences of last 35 years, I'm speaking today. I have a brain, right? Who trained my brain? People around me. Because my brain got trained, I could speak better. By seeing a other person, whether I need to get anger, whether I need to smile, or whether I need to be little polite more, or whether I need to be more submissive, that is based on what the history I have about the other person. Exactly same. Have been trained on the massive amounts of data. Who trained? Company called OpenAI trained the data, trained with a lot of data. What the company might have done, they might have compiled, gathered the information from the internet, tons of data, trained the data, got the patterns, and they understood many parameters. Many doesn't mean in numbers of tens, hundreds, thousands, but in billions. You don't believe ChatGPT 4, GPT-4 model is having around 175 plus billion parameters on which it's going to work. That means it is having that much of data and it is going to analyze your question by using those many billion parameters. Of course, filters are there based on your question, based on your prompt. It's going to apply the filter. Finally, it's going to give you the best answer. Now I'm having a other way around question. Let's say I'm searching about a data. Actually, about that particular data, very less information is available in the internet. Very less information. Do you think ChatGPT can answer best for that question? I don't know. Let me give you the best example. In fact, when ChatGPT announced in the month of November last year, in 2023, after 4 months, we all started working for the bank audits. I searched about many questions with respect to the bank audit, about the limit for LFR, about small things what we do in the bank audit. For 80% of the questions, the chat GPT has given wrong answers. Just because it has given wrong answer, can I say it is useless? No, because the answers are depending on how much massive data it is having with respect to that particular topic. Since the topic itself is very limited throughout the world, because throughout the world, maybe the bankers or auditors discuss about this, that too with respect to the Indian context, that too with respect to the people who only do the bank audit, that too with respect to the people who keep the information into the website or internet or blog, the data is very limited. When you talk about the data which is very limited, obviously it cannot have a lot of patterns out of it. The answer may be wrong. So you always need to understand whether the answer you are getting is correct or not, depending on whether the topic you are asking is already there in the internet. If it is already there, it might have captured that internet data from different sources, then it is going to generate a new text for you. That's what it generates, the human like text. So that's the reason always before asking any question, the chat GPT, make sure that whether you feel in general this particular content was already available in the internet or not. I feel the best advantage of the chat GPT, instead me going into the Google, searching for many links, whether there is a relevant data, I can probably simply go into the chat GPT and ask a question. But the question itself doesn't have much information in the internet, then obviously your chat GPT may go wrong, because with a very limited data, limited parameters, limited answer it can provide. Okay. So that is what about this entire topic is. Let's see, how does this chat GPT work? Chat GPT is fine-tuned from GPT 3.5, a large language model trying to produce the text. ChatGPT was optimized for dialogue by using reinforcement learning with human feedback. It means It's not about just taking a data, using the parameters, what it is having at the back end, billions of parameters and resulting you. Parameters, it will adjust, it will fine tune based on the human, what he respond. That means when ChatGPT has given an answer, when you say something about the answer, based on your answer, it apply more parameters again. So it can fine tune the answer, right? A method that uses human demonstrations and perform comparisons guide the model towards desired behavior. Very important question. In fact, I was talking for the last 5 minutes. Can we trust ChatGPT? Let's see. ChatGPT is not connected to the internet. That's a core difference between Bard application and ChatGPT. And it can occasionally produce incorrect answers. It has limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. It may also occasionally produce harmful instructions and biased content. Without taking much time, let me open the internet. Of course, if you want to use the chat GPT, you must need to have an internet. Go to the OpenAI website. Whoever first using the chat GPT, I request you all go to the OpenAI. I'm sure on the first page itself, you'll find try ChatGPT somewhere, right? Otherwise, you can, if you're not finding it, I'm sure you'll find that maybe at the bottom somewhere, ChatGPT. Yeah, here you can find it, the product. Once you click it, it's going to ask you, do you want to download in the Apple? Do you want to download Google Play? Do you want to download? Do you want to try on the web? I want to try on the web. Let me click this. It's going to take you to the URL chat.openai.com. This is the user interface. Whoever using for the first time, this is the user interface. As the name itself is suggesting, Chat GPT, it is having a user interface like how you chat with the other guy, how you chat in the Facebook Messenger, how you chat in the Google Messenger, and so on. On the top, you will be having by default 3.5 GPT. GPT-4, you will have with a lock symbol if you are not a GPT plus user, Chat GPT plus user. Since I'm having a pro version plus, I can still use GPT-4. I'll tell you what is the real need of using the GPT-4. Is it really helpful or is it not? I'll talk about it a little later. By default, it is GPT 3.5 if you are not a GPT plus user. If you are a Chat GPT plus user, by default, it's a GPT-4. What is the difference between ChatGPT 5, 3.5 and GPT-4 model? It's about parameter size. It's about the massive data at the back end. Here in the GPT-4, maybe my numbers may wrong here and there, 10%. In the GPT-4, it do the analysis having 170 billion plus parameters. Certainly GPT-5 is lesser than that. Obviously, when the parameters are more, the result could be more accurate comparatively, right? Having less parameters. And when parameters are more, it can be more creative also, right? And very recently, they introduced the prompts, example of the prompts also, how you can ask a question, brainstorm names. If you can just click any of these type of prompts, it's going to write a question for you. This is what about the, at the bottom, you have a message where you can start typing the questions. Left side, you'll find a small sidebar. Once you click it, this is the place where my entire previous history I can find. My entire previous history I can find. Friends, at a time, you may copy the answer of the question, but you cannot copy the entire conversation. For example, let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. Do you know anything about chartered accountant course in India? I'm sure it's going to give a lot of text for me. It is explaining me the entire course. Do you know that the new syllabus applicability, it has given me the answer. See, as per my last knowledge update in September 21, the ICI periodically reviews and updates, so it's not giving a great information. Now, let me tell you, this is the prompt we call. Don't use the old names called question and so on. Let us slowly come into the ChatGPT language. This is the prompt we call. And this is the response of your prompt. This is the response of your prompt. Because it's a free version, GPT 3.5 model is a free for everyone because they are still doing the research based on your feedback, they'll improve. That's the reason you have three buttons. One is copy. The other one, if you feel this answer is good, thumb up, otherwise thumb down. Thumb down, it's going to ask you the feedback. Thumb up, that means you are appreciating the answer. If you are appreciating the answer, then the pattern what based on which it answered, it's going to give more marks. Tomorrow, that particular pattern, it will strengthen. When you say no, it's going to look into the negative side. Tomorrow, if at all any other guy or maybe at the back end the model, that particular type of answer, it will again evaluate. This is a copy button. Once I click it, let me click this. I can simply open any of my Excel or Word document. I can simply copy paste as an example, Control V. If you observe carefully, it is having the bold, it is having the proper formatting. When you copy and paste it, it is exactly like maybe in the Telegram or WhatsApp. If you want to bold something, how you keep it in the double quote, maybe in the asterisk symbol, that's the way when you copy paste, you will get it. But if you want to copy paste manually, it's very difficult because let me copy this. When you start going, it's going down and it's even selecting a lot of other things also. That's the problem. And you cannot copy above prompt and this prompt, sorry, above response and this response together. It's a little problem. That is one thing, right? So how you can copy this and only this prompt result or the entire response or the entire history. There are different ways of doing it. Okay, we'll talk about it. Since couple of options are here, let me talk about this. I don't know how many of you used the option called regenerate. When you ask regenerate, that means you are not satisfied with the answer what it has provided. Once you click regenerate for the same question, it's going to give me the second answer. When you say regenerate, it's going to give third answer. When you say regenerate, it's going to give fourth answer. Sometimes all could be same. Okay, but it is with the available information, it is trying to just show you different answers. When you keep on pressing regenerate, regenerate, at one point of time, it doesn't have any new generation of data. It may produce the same result by just changing the words here and there. And whenever, especially when you are not happy with the first one and second one, so it's going to provide a lot of information. Probably you can just take this for and so on. You whatever the answer you like it, you probably copy and paste it. That is one important aspect. And whenever you have, for example, this already I'm done for this question. Whenever you click this, you can again click and save and submit. So it's going to give the second question. So for the same question, it's going to give the second answer. Since it's a factual data, since it's a factual data, there will be no difference of it, right? So in case of first instance, this is what the prompt is. In case of second one, this is the answer it has produced for us, right? Let me click this sidebar. And let me give a couple of new functionality what they introduced. If at all you want to delete any of the item, you can click this. You can click this. There is an option. This will delete CA course in India. It has automatically given a title. Once I click delete, it will delete. Now the question comes. Whether OpenAI or ChatGPT deleted only the data or even my prompts also. It deletes only the data, but not the prompt. Because for ChatGPT to fine tune its model, it's save the prompts at the backend. It understands the prompt because based on the prompt, it does more work. What type of questions people are asking, what is the way they are asking, and so on. There is no way you can delete the prompt. So my suggestion to all the viewers, don't keep any sensitive information in the prompt. like username, password, and so on. Because at the back end, the OpenAI can read your prompt, even if you delete your data, right? That is one important thing. Now, let me little expand this, zoom little in so that you can see the content much better. And at the bottom, okay, these all are my prompts and the results for over the period of last couple of years. Not a problem. At the bottom, you have with my name. Once you click it, there are a couple of options. What is my plan? Custom instructions I'm going to talk about a little later. Very recently, they introduced even for the free users. It means once you click this, you are going to, there are two questions. Let me explain anyway, we are here. What would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? Meaning, let me look into the second question, then I can combine both the questions and answer. How would you like ChatGPT to respond? Let's look into the first question. Probably if ChatGPT can look into my last couple of months prompts, I am more of a chartered accountant. I am a corporate trainer. I do consulting with respect to the automation assignments. My questions may be relating to Microsoft Excel, VBA, Power BI DAX, M formula for Power Query, maximum around this. Or I am a public speaker. I may ask some information about some data and so on. I am a chartered accountant, and these all are the maximum things I search. I can give my response. These all are the things. What do you do for work? Where you based? What are your hobbies and interests? What subjects can you talk about for us? What are some goals you have? These are just the thought things. You can put your information in 1500 characters. In 1500 characters. So every time when I ask ChatGPT to go for a new chart, this is a fresh chart for everyone in the world. Based on your prompt, now it is having backend 130 billion parameters. If it is a GPT-4, 175 billion parameters. Now it is just trying to look for your prompt that out of these many parameters, let me answer. But when you go to custom instructions, provide about you, then once you start giving a question, because it already filtered based on your profile, your other things, because instead of going from a very scratch, it is already having about your information. So it always try to see in a way, since you are a chartered accountant, you are asking this question. So I should not answer for this question as if I am answering for a guy who is a doctor. I should not answer this question as if I am asking, as if I'm answering this question to a college student. ChatGPT will understand I should not answer this question as if I don't know about anything about this person. So it is going to helpful there. In fact, I use a lot of text here. Okay, I have two accounts. One is the premium account, the other one is the free account. I give entirely about myself so that whenever I start asking the question, it always give that I am from India, I am a chartered accountant. Generally, with respect to the finance, I ask the question. Generally, with respect to the tools, I ask the question. So it's having much better knowledge. How would you like ChatGPT to respond? Meaning, how formal or casual should ChatGPT be? How long are short responses generally be? How do you want to be addressed? Should ChatGPT have opinions on topics or remain neutral? This is person to person. Let's say you are a journalist. You are a journalist. On a specific item, you want to be more elaboration. Then you can put it, I'm a journalist on the above custom instruction. At the below custom instruction, always try to be keep as long as possible. Otherwise, you are a management guy, maybe you are at the CEO or CFO, you don't have a time to read paras and paras. You just always want a crisp and clear to the point answer. Then you can mention that every time try to give the short response. Every time be the formal, because the content what you may provide, I may directly use into my emails. Every time you try how it has to be addressed. You mention here What are the opinions? Whether it can give an opinion or it should be neutral. Based on that, it can give much better information. That is about the custom instruction. I request all of you, you can start using the custom instructions. I'm sure you will get to know within one day when you start asking the question, the responses are much better than previous, right? This is just the instruction. If you want to know more about the custom instruction, you can just go here. Then you can start looking into this. They have given n number of examples, how to enable this and what is the character limits and so on. So if let me read some important para here. Okay, so yeah, is my custom instructions data deleted when I delete my OpenAI account? When you delete your OpenAI account, custom instructions that are tied on your account will also be deleted within 30 days. So with respect to the security, there is no issue at all. They are not given much instruction except what this custom instructions does and so on. Right? You can just start going below and you can start reading whatever they have given. Okay. I'm just trying to give a roundup so that later you can go deep dive into each item. Now let me click this. This is my plan. This basically I've subscribed for GPT-4. So if you want to be have a GPT plus $20 per month, of course, plus GST, access to GPT-4, our most capable model, faster response speed comparatively the free version of GPT 3.5 model, exclusive access to beta features like browsing, plugins, code interpreters. I'll talk about it. Let's go here. Let's go to the settings and beta. This beta features will not be available if you are a free user. Other than that, these two you can find it. In general, nothing is there. How you want the theme should be, whether it should be dark, whether it should be light. You can just clear all chats if you want. If at all you want to delete all the conversations, once you click clear, all the conversations will get deleted. Right? Data controls. Data controls. Chart history and training. Save new charts on this browser to your history and allow them to be used to improve our models. Meaning, whatever I say, save at the backend, it's there in the chart history. Now, I will just click no. This is as if an incognito window. I'm sure in the Google Chrome, you will get to know, you know already what is the incognito window. Once I click this, I can go and start searching. Okay, Sharon Kumar, it's going to give the information at the backend. At the backend, that's not going to store the in the history, right? It may not even save the cookies. However, if at all internet provider can see it, they can see it that I've accessed all these websites, but in the Google, in the history, it will not store. In the same way, if at all you are trying to search or you are trying to ask some information which may be critical, which you feel confidential data, probably you can just disable the chat history and you can start searching. This is the confidential data, how to store, how to ask without open AI knowing about it. Some question. See, here you doesn't have any option to go for a new chart. The only way you can have it is clear this chart, go for a new chart, right? If at all you want to enable the chart history, you just click enable, you can go back. That means the previous thing will not come here. That is the one about data controls of chat history and shared links. Let me talk about this very important. Let me talk about this very important. Now, let me go up some information which I feel, yeah, building Neo 4J graph. There is some topic I have taken, or maybe audio conversion. There is some topic I have taken. Okay, this is my GPT-4. 1 second. Yeah, there is some topic I searched data analytics in the finance. Data analytics in the finance, right? Now, what I am looking for, anything you can take it. Creative use of kits, options trading simplified. You can take any topic. Let's say this is the topic which I feel I searched elaborately and I got some answer. Now I'm sure you are finding there is a button here. Share this chat. I'm 100% sure by this time you might have not tried this. If you already tried it, it is good. Earlier, what we used to do, whenever I have given a great prompt and it has given the best solution. If the other guy taking the same prompt, search in the chat GPT, he may not get the same answer because of the custom instructions he might have provided, because of many different parameters. But I liked the way ChatGPT answered in my system. I want to share the same answer, continue the conversation for my colleague. Then I want to share this information to my colleague. Instead me copying and pasting, what I can do, it has introduced a feature called share. I can just click this share chat. Any conversation you can go, either you can go here or even you can go here, anywhere it is fine. Now on the top, you have an option called share. Otherwise, if you have a free option, here itself, if I'm not wrong, there is an information, there is a button called link. That is nothing but share. Now let me go to maybe options trading simplified. Let me click this, share the chat. Now, whatever the title it has given, you can just give the title. If at all you want to change, you can change it. And it's going to give the date. And you can just click this. Do you want to share with your name or do you want to share it as anonymously? If you want to share with your name, you can keep your name and you can start sharing. And otherwise, if you don't want any other person should know about this, you can share it anonymously, right? So the no name will come, only the date will come. You can see a point here. Messages you send after creating your link won't be shared. Messages you send after creating your link won't be shared. Anyone with URL will be able to view the shared chat. The meaning, let's say I started a conversation. There are 20 prompts I asked in that conversation, in that chat. It has given 20 responses. Now I want to share all these 20 responses to my colleague because he's going to use the same information while he work. When I share it, later in the same chart in my computer, my chat GPT, I asked for 21st prompt. It's going to give me 21st response. This will not be available to my friend because till the point of time, whatever you shared, that's the only thing which is available for your friend, right? Now, there is one more information. If you want to get more about the shared link, you can just go here and you can start understanding it, right? This there in the web as well as in the mobile application also. Now, what I can do once I feel everything is fine, I can simply copy the link. I can simply see copy the link. Now, what I am going to do before all of you open, okay, let me go to incognito window. Otherwise, maybe let me close this. Let me go to my some other browser, right? I'll just open chat.openai.com. 1 second. I'm going to open my other account so that you will understand what it is. Let me log in. Let me log in. Now let me log in with a different email ID. Just for 1 minute, let me freeze. Let's go to use another account. I just made my screen freeze. Excellent. Yeah. Now let me unfreeze. Okay, this is a chat GPT. See, since it's a new account, I'm sure you can see it now. Since it's a new account, ChatGPT 4, I cannot access. If I want to access it, is asking me to upgrade. I'm still in the ChatGPT 3.5. Now, whatever the link which I've taken from the other browser, let me go back here. Let me copy the link. Now, let me close this. Now I can go here. Let me do Control plus V. Let me do Control plus V. It is giving me the entire answer to me. That means I can see actually this user is different. This user is different. By using that link, I could see the entire conversation in my previous example, all the 20 prompts what you asked for, and all the 20 responses what ChatGPT responded. When I say continue this conversation, this will come to my ChatGPT. That means once I click continue, let me click this. See, it has opened my chat GPT and it has given that as an option to me to continue this conversation. Thank you for the response, right? I just kept it. Thank you for the response. It has created. Now, this entire conversation is belongs to me. Using your link, it is indirectly I am importing your conversation into my conversation. Instead of me asking those 20 questions, because once you started responding to the chat GPT, it understood what type of answer it should provide. Instead of me going to talk about those 20 questions again to train the chat GPT for that particular conversation, since you already trained, I could take your response using the link and I can start using it. Maybe if you are searching something which is very relevant, if you want to appreciate ChatGPT, by sharing to the world. Of course, you can even copy paste this link to the entire world by sharing your Facebook, WhatsApp, and everywhere. But if at all they want to take this chat GPT link into their conversation, that means they want to continue from their conversation, they have to log in to import this into their conversation. I feel this is one of the very important thing which is required. In fact, very recently, I remember one prompt I have given, it has given beautiful answer. Continuing the prompt, I have started giving the response and it has given a lot of answers. But I want to share, henceforth, I want my other colleague want to do the conversation. Then instead of me copying and pasting or giving my credentials to her to started looking into that, what I have done, I've just taken the link, I shared, she opened and she continued the conversation from there. So it is saving a lot of time, right? That is, I feel, one of the very important option. The final one, in fact, initial days, there was no option to export the data. Thanks to OpenAI, they have given this option. Once you click export, once you click confirm export, successfully exported the data, you should receive an email shortly with your data. Probably, I may go into my Gmail. Let me pause it just for a minute. Let me open my Gmail. I don't want this mail. I know this is not the mail where it has given ChatGPT. Let me go to the other mail. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the email. It's going to give it to me. It's going to give the import. It takes little time because use content is there. Certainly, it's going to give me the dump into my mailbox in the zip format, right? So 1 second. I could show you once you download what type of information it is having. It's going to give you the information in the text format. I'm just trying to reload. Yep. Okay. Let me unfreeze so that you can see what is the information it is showing. I'm sure you can see my mailbox. There is a mail just now I have received from OpenAI. ChatGPT, your data export is ready. Let me click this. You can download this data. Let it download. Oops, no problem. Start downloading. Excellent. Let me open this file from my downloads. I'm sorry, from my downloads. I don't want to open and show you user because it's going to have my phone number and email ID. But what is important, I want to open this chat.html that's going to open in the HTML format in the browser. See, this is what all my conversation is. This is what all my conversation is. In fact, today we have very limited time. Probably I'm going to take one more session in one of the Thursday for technology. What is the more relevant? What is the meaning of tokens? Because if you want to use the API of ChatGPT, or if you want to build your own application by considering ChatGPT, it's going to charge based on the tokens what you use. Token is approximately one and a half word, right? So there is a lot of context at the back end. So we can understand this is the conversation for the last couple of months I have used in this chat GPT. If I can copy paste this, I can understand how many words are these and so on. That means how much I may need to pay if at all I'm using the fine-tuned model of ChatGPT API. In fact, since it is a free, it's not costing me any much. But if at all I want to use the API at the back end, then it's going to charge for me. Okay. So since the time is very limited, I'm not going much deeper. Probably this is the way you can download the content. Let me go back. Other important aspects of settings. Let's go to the data controls. Since it's a free account, I'm not going here. Let's go to here in the chat GPT here. Oops. Okay, let's go here. Let me go here. Settings and beta in the data controls, export data. And this is the one delete data. Probably you can, if you don't want any account, you can delete this account. So the entire conversations will be deleted, but prompts get stored at the backend. This beta features are available for the pro users. Let me come back to what is the meaning of pro user. See, if I can explain probably in this way. This is a Microsoft Excel, which I'm having. I could use all the APIs or add-ins which are part of the Microsoft App Source because Microsoft has given an architecture. Using this architecture, hundreds of companies every day building many applications on top of it and which are available in the app source. Some of the apps are free, some of the apps may be paid, and so on. But if I want to get the access to this app source, I want to get the access to this app source. I cannot use a fake version or not a genuine version of Excel. I need to use the Office 365 or I have to buy the Microsoft Excel for which I need to pay the money. In the same way, using the GPT-4 model, using the GPT-4 model in the world, hundreds of companies already built their add-ins, plugins. If at all you want to use those plugins, you have to be part of ChatGPT Plus. That means you need to pay the $20 per month so that you can use the plugins. However, some of the plugins are free, some of the plugins are paid. So if you feel for your organization, one particular plugin is very useful, then it's worth paying $20 to the ChatGPT, whatever the amount for that plugin company, so that you can start using it. But in the ChatGPT, you may not get that functionality because using the ChatGPT model, many people are building their own applications. That means the ChatGPT opened the doors for the people who understand the challenges in the market, who can create their own applications, put into the marketplace that is nothing but the plugins, and you can start using it. Code interpreter, you can try plugins as well as code interpreter. What is the meaning of it? You can try the version of ChatGPT that knows how to write and execute the Python code and can work with file uploads. You can upload a file and you can ask this code interpreter to test it and so on. Try asking for help with data analysis, image conversations, editing a code file, and so on. Probably will take one session how exclusively we can use the plugins and so on. But let me tell you, once you enable GPT Plus, let me click this GPT-4, and this is a GPT Plus. Once you click here, you have by default here, and also our most capable model, great for the tasks that require creativity and advanced reasoning. I already told you this is because it's having more billions of parameters at the backend. Available exclusively for the Plus users, GPT-4 currently has a cap of 50 messages every 3 hours. Within 3 hours, maximum 50 messages, you can start conversing, having a conversation with the chat GPT, right? Default option is this. If at all you want to use the code interpreter, probably you can start using it. You can start uploading the files. You can start uploading the files which is having a Python code and so on. That, as I mentioned, we will talk very elaborate because that itself is one topic. Let's go into the plugin. Once I go to the plugins, these all are the plugins which are available. If you want to see plugin store, It's going to take you to the plugins. Plugins are powered by third-party applications that are not controlled by the OpenAI. Be sure that you trust the plugin before installation. Plugins connect the ChatGPT to external apps. Of course, as I mentioned, if you enable a plugin, ChatGPT may send your conversations, custom instructions, and the country state you are in to the plugin. ChatGPT automatically chooses when to use the plugins during a conversation, depending on the plugins you have enabled. Let me click OK. See, within 9 months, see the world, how great they are going towards the technology implementation. Though ChatGPT itself launched on November 30th of last year, and they have given an option for the people to build their own applications. They can build their own plugins, but within couple of months, thousands of people who started building their applications in the ChatGPT, who started building their applications in the ChatGPT. Let me go here. Let me go to the plugins. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, let me zoom a little less. Let me go to the plugins. Let me click this. Probably I can go to the end. I can click plugin store. See how many plugins are there. In the first page, at least upper end, I'm seeing. Let me go to all instead of only this. Even in one page, probably you can say 8 plugins. 108 is the last page. 8 into 108, you can calculate. Thousands of plugins are there, right? Within months of time, there are people who could who could create useful plugins. It's only for you. The time is only to go to each and every plugin, understand what it does. I'm sure every plugin is having a trial version, meaning you are going to let me take one plugin so that you can understand. You can take one plugin, any of the popular plugin, see a chart with the docs, chart with your Google document slides and sheets, get personalized answer based on your company knowledge. Meaning it's going to ask you to give a connection to your Google Drive. There are a couple of files you can suggest. From the files it can read, create a content for you. It's going to answer for you. You can try it. I'm sure you may appreciate. And the only time we need to spend is having a time, go slowly one after other, understanding whether this plugin is good for my organization or for my firm. If you are into the practice and you just need to start using it. Tell me your favorite movies and I will recommend your next cinematic gem. There is one plugin, get company information by providing the domain name useful for sales team. They have given which department can use it. I want to get the information about a company. You just give the web address. Probably it is having a, it's going to look crawl the entire website, maybe scrap it, look into the contact us page, get the email IDs, phone numbers, and so on, and it's going to give it to you. This may be certainly helpful for the companies who are in the marketing, who are in the sales, right? Let me go to the popular plugin so that you can understand. A plus Doc Maker. Generate beautiful PDFs in seconds. Resumes, cover letters, proposals, more. With the support of DOCX, XLSX, CSV files, and so on. I have not downloaded. I've used 2, 3 plugins here, but I'm just trying to tell you, you can start using it. I'm sure because it's free initially. If at all you want to go for pro, they may charge, but initially you can start using it and appreciate it. Ask your PDF. Unlock the powerful your PDFs, power of your PDFs, dive into your documents, find answers, and bring information to your fingertips. Meaning, for example, you are a financial analyst, you can upload a PDF document. Of course, there is a limit for the free of the number of pages and size. You can upload the PDF document. You can start asking the questions from the PDF. It's going to read it, summarize it, going to give you the answer in the text format. How cool it is. Chart with the PDF. This is also same type of item. Build charts, graphs, and so on based on your questions. Probably it's going to build the graphs. And you can, if you want, you can make a sheet. Expedia, bring your trips plans to life, get there, stay there, and so on. Just start looking into that. I'm sure one or other may be helpful to you. Show me diagrams. Create and edit diagrams directly in the chat. Okay, excellent. Probably this is like smart art graphics in Microsoft Excel, but in Excel, you have to design your own graph. But here you can start asking a question, then start answering and start prompting it. Based on that, it's going to create a graph for you, diagram for you. It's going to show it to you. Smart slides. AI powerful tool for rapid PowerPoint presentations. Just input needs and let AI do the rest. That means if you can say that I want to prepare a PPT presentation on a topic called Power BI in that DAX. Please make 10 slides about the DAX. Preferably, the first slide is about introduction of the DAX. Second slide is about calculated tables. Third slide is about calculated columns. Fourth slide is about calculated value or the measure. Fifth slide is about time intelligence function in the DAX. Sixth slide is about row level security. Seventh slide is about conclusion, maybe, or maybe you can talk about advanced DAX and so on. The last slide is the conclusion. You can just put, you can even get the information from the chat GPT. Using that information, you can ask this particular plugin to create the slides. I'm 100% certain it will create the slides in much better way than what we do manually, because it is obviously more creative than a human, right? You can have information if you want to get the knowledge real time. You can go here. If at all you have Zapier account, where it's Zapier is basically having, you can have models, you can build the models for your applications. And I did not in fact gone through everything here. Whenever you have a time, you can start looking into this, right? Last but not the least, the very important thing you must need to know about the chat GPT. Let me go a little further into the, okay, let me explain you the timeline. Probably let me go through very quickly so that you can understand what exactly it is, where it started and how it is. As you know, 30th November, they introduced ChatGPT to the world, and within 5 days, 1 million downloads happened. That's the where the word of ChatGPT buzz in the entire world. Then in the same December 8th, Share GPT, a Chrome extension, has been released. 1st February, OpenAI introduced within 2 months of time Chat GPT Plus, a pilot subscription plan aimed at monetizing the chatbot services. This offering provides, that's what I have just now shown, because the major investor, even today, the major investor is Microsoft. Microsoft is very clear that they want to embed this ChatGPT concept into every their application. In fact, a couple of months back, they released a trailer. Probably I can say it as a teaser than a trailer, that very soon they are going to integrate this AI functionality into every Microsoft product. That includes Word document, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, even Outlook, even in the Teams, right? Already they started implementing GPT-4 in the Bing. If at all you are using the Bing, let me go to the Bing. Yeah, I can go to the Bing. Maybe I can go to Chrome extension. Let's go to this Edge. Let's go to this Edge. Let me go to this. Are you finding here Bing? I can start asking the questions here. So, do you want more creative, more balanced, or more precise? In fact, this is exactly the concept they embedded into the Bing. Now I can start asking the question, tell me top 10 highlights of Chandrayaan 3 mission. Now it's looking into the internet data. It is trying to gather the information. It is just providing you, searching for top 10 highlights. See, otherwise in Google, I need to go to every item and I should start looking into. It's not only taking from one single website, it is also giving you, maybe the bibliography at the bottom from the sources what it is taking beautifully. India's Chandrayaan 3 mission has three major objectives: demonstrate safe and soft landing on the surface of the moon, conduct rover operations on the moon, and conduct on site experiments on the lunar surface, and so on. If you look into the top 10 items, Chandrayaan 3 is India's third lunar mission. The mission aims to showcase India's technical abilities in achieving the precise and so on. See, it out of hundreds of, because I'm sure at least last 1.5 month about the Chandrayaan 3, thousands and thousands of articles, might have aid into the search engine in the net, out of which it analyzed. That's what a fine tuning technique is. It analyzed and taken the information which is best of top 10, and also it has given from where it has gathered the information. The Hindustan Times, Times Now, Financial Express, News 18. See, these all are the links it has given. This is what the Bing. This is the compose. This is the highlight. Probably you can start using this. Since I'm here, I want to give you one small interesting before closing. Whenever you want to share any information from your phone to the uh, laptop or system, or from the system to the phone, what do you do? Generally, you open your what? You open your chat, WhatsApp, web, so that you can have a conversation there and here, right? But if at all, let's say I have not opened the web WhatsApp, then there is a option in the edge drop. You can just start chatting it. Probably this particular chat, you can even open at your phone, because the same login you can have how you are logging into the Bing, so that there also you have an option called drop. Whatever you keep here, that will automatically be there. Whatever you keep at your phone, that will automatically come here. You can start exploring the options here. Okay, that is what it is saying. Let's go a little upward. OpenAI launches a paid API for ChatGPT, allowing developers to harness its capabilities in their own applications and services. This marks a significant step towards commercializing AI models and fostering innovation. I probably give you one idea how this really work. In fact, we are working with one company to understand this more better. Probably this is one thing they are going to implement very soon, taking our consulting. I'll tell you how generally this work. The model OpenAI built at the backend. I request whoever watching can look into this particular aspect, because you can guide your clients. Your client is having a huge data at the backend. Your client is having huge data at the backend. GPT-4 model is already there. What we just need to do, we need to take that architecture, we need to fine tune the model which can understand my data. Meaning, for example, I have 1,000 tables. Maybe I'm using an SAP, I'm using some other application where at the back end 1,000 tables are there. These tables are standard. The only data which is flowing every day. I just need to fine tune the data in such a way so that the GPT-4 understands what I am looking for. Next time, I can build a small application for my organization that please give me last 1 week sales. Don't you think the model will go pick up the right table, right column, sum the values, give you the information? Of course it is. Immediately you can ask a question in the chat that, could you please compare this figure with the last year figure and show me the percentage of growth? It will go to the last year and it will start looking into the data of the sales of the same period. It's going to compare both, make a percentage, giving it to you. Let me tell you, though it looks like a simple question, in the finance domain, a CFO has to guide their junior, who may be a chartered accountant or any financial analyst. To do this, that guy has to go to SAP, log in, download the data for last year versus this year, compare, take the current year data for the same period. He has to take the last year data. Generally, the data is huge. It takes a lot of time. So at least he take 1 hour to 2 hours time just to get those figures. Now, if I can fine tune the model for my organization, how much time it has taken? Less than a second's time. That is the future of the chat GPT. That's the reason many roles are at us, whether they'll be there or not. If you ask me, in the finance domain, financial planning and analysis, FP&A team may affect a lot. I may fine tune in such a way tomorrow. I don't want to put a double entry system at all. I'll only put English language transactions every day. Because let's say I'm an MSME client. I can build, maybe this is one idea. Tomorrow, I'm sure one application will come on this. As an MSME business owner, I don't want to recruit an accountant by paying 30,000 or 40,000. Whatever I'm doing the transaction every day, I can put in the English language into one Excel file. I probably may upload this into the ChatGPT. I ask ChatGPT, look into this English, convert into the trial balance. It may do that. From the trial balance, please convert into the balance sheet and P&L. It may do that, right? That is what the world tomorrow gonna be. In fact, now many people in the world, especially the software engineers, using ChatGPT left and right. Because instead me building the code from the scratch, let me ask the ChatGPT to build a code in the VBA. I'll take it, I'll fine tune it, I'll edit it, and I'm going to use it. How much time it's going to save for me, right? So since the time is already 1 hour over, I'm not going much deeper. As I said, ChatGPT is not a very limited topic. Probably I increase more frequency using the ChatGPT. Maybe I can uh, cover more topics in the forthcoming Thursday for technology sessions. I thank all of you for your patient hearing. I'll see you all in the next Thursday for technology. Before closing this session, the only request I'm having from all of you, the only favor rather, just share this Excelism YouTube channel to all your near and dear. Whoever want to be part of this Thursday for technology, let them join to the WhatsApp groups exclusively meant for Thursday for technology. They'll get the update whenever there is a topic every Thursday. And it's not a WhatsApp group where anyone can send the message. It is only one-way communication from my end, the updates. Not only about Thursday for technology, I do update in those WhatsApp groups many regular day-to-day technology changes. So you may request your friends to add into those WhatsApp groups. In fact, those WhatsApp groups, I need not to add, though I am an admin every time. If you all are having an access to add your friends, right? Though you may not send the messages, you can add your friends without my permission. To whom you feel these sessions are more relevant, important, you can add those people. I have given in the description of this video all the links to those WhatsApp groups. That's all, guys. Thank you so much. I'll come up with a new topic next Thursday